I'm about to show you my reasonable setup for being a 3D artist for a video game company. And keep in mind, I am a professional 3D artist. That's what I do for a living. So this is what I call a reasonable desk setup for someone that also has a professional career in tech. Starting off with my monitors. I have 3 monitors. 2 of them are the LG 27-inch QHD 1440p monitors. I love the 144 Hz that it provides because I can't stand seeing a 60 Hz monitor. It's a reasonable price, around $250 for each. It has great color for the price, and I know it's a gaming monitor, but I think it's an overall great monitor for anything. Oh, and for my third monitor, it's just some random Dell monitor. Super cheap, probably like 60 bucks. So I will say, I've had this keyboard for a hot minute. It's the SteelSeries Apex Pro, and this is back when I was gaming a ton, and I thought that the $200 to $250 keyboards were the best thing you could buy. I've realized that is not true, and there's a lot cooler keyboards out on the market. Now, I don't regret buying this keyboard at all. I mean, it's worked for the past 4 years with 0 hiccups. I wish it was a little cheaper, but my peripherals, I always spend a little too much. Now, bouncing off the keyboard, we're going to the mouse. I'm rocking the SteelSeries Aerox 5 wireless. The wireless performance is exceptionally stable, and one thing I know people worry about with wireless mice is battery life, and honestly, the battery life is perfect. Sure, I plug it in overnight, but for the entire day, I never have to once worry about plugging it in while I'm working. And next, we're headed to the headphones. It's the Corsair Virtuoso wireless gaming headset. They have noise canceling activation if I really need to lock in and get work done. They're super comfortable, which I care about because my head is massive. And there's a built-in microphone on these headsets that work great. Again, the battery life on these bad boys lasts me all day long. All right, I am not gonna lie. This was the best investment out of my entire setup. I absolutely love this microphone. The Shure SM7B. Out of my entire setup, this was the thing that's lasted me the longest. I think I've had this, as you can tell. I mean, look at it. It's like the cover on top is like coming off. And it has been worth every single penny. I get in so many gaming lobbies and just meetings in general, and people are like, oh my gosh, you could be like a radio voice. And I think it's literally just because of this microphone. It delivers great sound. If you do have the budget for it, it is so worth it. I do think that this is the one thing out of all the things in your setup that you should truly invest in, especially if you're going to be doing things like taking calls, doing content creation, just talking to friends on daily. You don't want to be sounding like the broke $15 mic from Walmart. Let's be real. We're headed to the desk, and let me tell you, when I have absolutely no clue what desk this is, and I mean it, I just bought a very cheap $250 desk off Amazon, and this is what I got. It's standing, which is great. It does what it needs to do. My biggest complaint, for some reason, they thought that having 2 panels and a seam going right down the middle where you connect the 2 panels to make it the full desk was a good idea. I probably go back and forth daily on if I should get a new desk or not. Mainly because where that seam is where my mouse needs to be every single time. And I lose traction because of the big slit in the middle. But it does work for a standing desk, only 250 bucks. So you can't really go wrong. Oh, and then also next, my big TV. I love having my TV right above my setup, even though it's a little bit distracting, I will say, especially because it's March Madness season right now. But it is great to have it mounted on the wall. You're currently on my bed right now, so when it's late at night and I want to just lay in bed, pop on a movie, I can just chill and turn something on. It's great. All right, we're finally to my computer. And let me tell you, I haven't upgraded this computer one bit since the day I built it. And I built this 4 years ago before I moved out here to California for my job. And I'm so out of the loop with anything new when it comes to the computer parts that I'm just going to read it off my phone and tell you each of the parts that I have. But for a processor, now granted, remember, this is 4 years ago. Processor, i9 12900K. That's 16 core, 24 thread CPU. All right, for my cooling, I went with the Asus ROG Strix liquid cooling system. I don't know which one it is, I'm gonna be honest, but it does the job. All right, next is the motherboard. We're going Asus again. We are rocking the ROG Strix Z690F. That's a mouthful. It's a beast. I do remember going above and beyond with my motherboard because I wanted multiple SSD slots tons of USB-A's, USB-C's, USB-B's, USB-D's, USB... All right, next we're rocking with our RAM. And let me tell you, I've heard things about RAM right now and how expensive RAM is. Let me tell you, that is crazy. But with that being said, we are rocking 64 gigabytes of Corsair Dominator Platinum DDR5 RAM. I did get this RAM in dual channel configuration in case I wanted to upgrade, but with the prices, I've never once thought about upgrading. And this is usually what everybody cares about. I'm rocking the Asus ROG Strix 3090. This thing is a beast, needless to say. It's giving me zero problems. I pump out video edits like crazy. I run Blender so easily. Any 3D software that I need to use, I have zero issues. And then obviously for gaming, I can play any game on max setting. And this entire setup is nested inside my NZXT H7 Elite. And that covers about everything in my setup that I use on a day-to-day basis. Let me know what I need to update, upgrade, or get rid of. I want to know what your thoughts are. All right, later.